Hey, my name is Kathleen, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the best books that I read in 2021. I'm going to start off with some of the rereads that I really enjoyed, and then that flows into the new to me books. I'm not planning to go in huge detail for any of these books because we have a lot of books to go through, and I would refer you to the videos in which I talked about them. So first off, and these are in no particular order, I've organized these books based on categories, so they're not in any particular order other than like genre and rereads and new reads and stuff like that, and graphic novels, and yeah. Let's just get into it. So the first book is Memoirs by Guy Slay. This is a book from my childhood, and it was just a joy to reread. Then we have Cakes in Space by Philip Reed and Sarah McIntyre. Also a joy to reread. I read this before from the library several years ago, and I really liked rereading it. Then we have Bloom by Kevin Panetta and Savannah Ganuccio. Again, just love rereading this. I think the lighting is the book is like light blue, but it looks, the light is a bit bright, so I don't think it really comes across. It looks more white, but okay. This is a graphic novel about two boys who fall in love. Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I felt like rereading this. I had never reread it before. I had read it before, but never reread it, if that makes sense. I really loved it upon reread as well. And now we get to a bunch of children's books. So I reread Babysitters Club book 55, Je ziet de grote zwemwedstrijd, or Jessie's Gold Medal by Anna Martin. Love rereading it. Yeah, sorry, I haven't got a lot to say. Yeah, we have to go through this quick. I also reread books, I think these books 3 and 4? I don't recall. In the Tom Gates series, Everything's Amazing Sort of, and Genius Ideas Mostly by Liz Pichon. I don't quite remember which books these are exactly in this series, but either way I love rereading these. I also reread Amelia Fang and the Barbaric Ball by Laura Ellen Anderson. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one as well. I also reread Julius Zebra, book 1, Rumble with the Romans by Gary Northfield. Again, enjoyable. And yeah, I reread some of those so that I can read the later books in the series that I haven't read yet, but I wanted to reread the first ones again, if that makes sense, because I actually read a lot of these series in the library for the first time, and now I have my own copies to then continue on with the later books in the series that the library didn't have. But I want to read my own copy first. So yeah, The Bolds, book 1 by Julian Clary, illustrated by David Roberts. Again, a nice reread. Het Demonische Schoolhoofd by Gillian Cross, or The Demon Headmaster. I enjoyed rereading this, and I even more enjoyed rewatching the TV series. I need to continue with this series so that then I can watch the rest of the TV series, because it's a TV series that I have the most memories of. But I wanted to read the books. I also reread volumes 1 and volume 2 of My Brother's Husband by Kengoro Tagame. Love these again. I reread all of the Death in Paradise books by Robert Thorogood. So Meditation on Murder, The Killing of Polly Carter, Death Knocks Twice, and Murder in the Caribbean. I enjoyed all of these. And that flows into the series that I read, of which I reread the first few books, and then the later book was new to me, if that makes sense. So we have the Witch Boy series by Molly Knox Ostertag. So we have The Witch Boy, which was a reread for me. We have The Hidden Witch, which was also a reread for me. And then we have The Midwinter Witch, which was new to me, and I really enjoyed all of these. Then we have the Heartstopper books, volumes 1 through 4. Volumes 1, 2 and 3 were rereads to me, volume 4 was new to me. So we have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4. Love this. Then we have the Kingsbridge series by Ken Follett. So we have The Pillars of the Earth, which was a reread for me. We have Would That End, which was also a reread for me. Then we have A Column of Fire, which was a new to me read. And then we have The Evening and the Morning, which was also new to me. I really enjoyed reading this series. I should stop saying I enjoyed, because I enjoyed all of these books or they wouldn't be in this video. Then we have the Farsight trilogy by Robin Hobb, Assassin's Apprentice, Royal Assassin, and Assassin's Quest, and all three of these books were new to me. We have now done the rereads. We're now going to go through the books that were all new to me, and yeah, I really enjoyed this. Another series that I read in 2021 and I loved is the Brown Sisters trilogy by Talia Hibbert. So we have Get It Live, Chloe Brown, Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and the third book, Act Your Age, Eve Brown. And I love these. The steamy scenes are not quite my sort of thing in general, but other than that, I really enjoyed these. And as far as those scenes go, they were good for that. That's just not my personal favorite thing. I really liked the writing. Some deeper themes were discussed in this. The characters were great. Then a series that I continued because I read book 1 in 2020, and then I read the next 5 books, so books 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in 2021, which is the Phoebe and a Unicorn series, and these just bring me joy. I don't rate them like extreme highs, but they just bring me joy. Unicorn on a Roll, Unicorn versus Goblins, Razzle Dazzle Unicorn, Unicorn Crossing, and Phoebe and a Unicorn in the Magic Storm. Then we get to series that I started this year, but I haven't finished. So we have the Dogman series by Dav Pilkey. So we have Dogman, Dogman Unleashed, and Dogman A Tale of Two Kitties. There are more books in this series. I have more of them, but I haven't read them yet. This year I also started the Hannah Swenson series. So we have book 1, Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder. These are by Joanne Fluke, by the way. And book 2, Strawberry Shortcake Murder. I really enjoyed these. They are a little bit dated with the fat phobia, because these two were written quite a while ago. But yeah, I found these really enjoyable reads. Cozy Mysteries. Then some books in series that I had already started and that I continued. I'll just say what the books are. So I read books 8, 9, and 10 in the Himatu Marichan series by Sankaku Head in 2021. I love these. There's only a few books left in the series now, and I have been holding off on them. I have them, but I also just kind of don't want the series to end. So yeah. Oh, sorry. These are the covers. Book 8, Volume 9, and then Volume 10. This is a manga series. The 52 Story Treehouse by Andy Griffiths and Terry Denton. The Babysitter's Club graphic novels, number 9, Claudia New Girl by Anna Martin and Camille Epstein. Number 10 is out, but I haven't read it yet, so that's something to look forward to. The Girl Who Saved Christmas by Matt Haig, book 2 in the Christmas series. I have also read book 3, but that doesn't make it onto the favorites list because I enjoyed this one more than book 3. And book 1 was also good, but I read that in 2001. The Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch by Tom Fletcher, illustrated by Shane DeVries, book 2 in the Christmasaurus series. Loved this. Okay, I think now we're getting to the standalones. And first some graphic novels, graphic memoirs. We have Allergic by Megan Wagner Lloyd and Michelle Me Nutter. I had never read a book before about a character and their allergies, and with a focus on that, and so this book resonated with me because I have a lot of allergies. Then we have Barely Functioning Adult by Maichi and this is a sort of graphic memoir, and I found it funny. I really enjoyed it. Then we have Persepolis by Mariana Satrapi. This was a really impressive graphic memoir. I found it really interesting. Then we have Mouse, or well, The Complete Mouse by Art Spiegelman. This is a graphic memoir of Art Spiegelman's father mostly, and yeah, this was a very, not sure what the right word for this is, but it was very interesting as well. The Stars, no. When Stars Are Scared by Victoria Jamieson and Omar Mohammed, a graphic memoir of Omar and his brother spending their lives in a refugee camp as children. Now we'll get to the, I guess, text or prose books. Oh no, there's one book in prose later on. Anyway. Claire McIntosh, The Donor. This was a thriller novella. It was actually the first book I read in 2021, but I really liked it. I don't remember a whole lot of it now, since it's a year later, but I gave it a high rating, so and it made me want to read more by this author. Friend Me by Sheila M. Abebu. This was a sort of middle grade thriller, and I haven't read a whole lot of them, and this was enjoyable. Eindfeest by Jet van Vuren. This was the first book that I tried by this author, and I really enjoyed it. It was a nice Dutch read, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. I liked it. Then we have another note, because I read this on my Kindle, Murderbot Diaries, books 1 through 3 by Martha Wells. I really enjoyed these first 3 entries in the series, and I haven't read more yet, but I do want to. I have the books 4, 5, and 6 on my Kindle. So this is science fiction. Then we have Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulet, and I think if I had to choose, this was one of my absolute favorites of this year, and it was also a new to me author. This is her debut novel, and I just love this. Then we have The Book of Two Ways by Jodi Picoult. I read this recently, and I really enjoyed this. Then we have The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain. I read this in January 2021, and I read another book by this author later in the year, but this one was definitely my favorite of those two. I buddy read this with a group of people, and yeah, this was to me a really amazing read. Then we have The Switch by Beth O'Leary. Absolutely love this. The floor is covered in books. Castagno by Tommy Niese. He wrote it together with Loes Walterson. I really enjoyed this book as well. Now we get to some young adult contemporaries. The Love and Lies of Roxana Ali by Sabine Khan. I really enjoyed this book. Boys Don't Cry by Mallory Blackman. I really like this one as well. I don't need to say, I liked all of these books, or they wouldn't be in this video. Off the Record by Tamara Garrett. Blood Moon by Lossie Kutu. And this is the one book in verse. I don't quite remember as much of this now. I think I read it quite a bit earlier in the year, but I remember really liking it at the time, and I rated it 5 stars, or 10 out of 10. And I only read, I think, 3 books in verse this year. Although if I'm wrong, it was less than the year before, I feel. I think possibly because the last one that I read in verse, which was featured in my worst books videos, maybe that put me off a bit, I don't know. Then we have Parachutes by Kelly Yang. X Marks a Spot by Sarah Anderson. Really like this, and it was special because I read this while in France. Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chow. This didn't have like the most original concept, but I really enjoyed this. Yeah. Then we have Hungry Hearts. This is a anthology written by 13 different authors, and then you have 2 editors. So the editors are Elsie Chapman and Caroline Sung Richmond, and then there is all these authors in it. This was a really great anthology. Some anthologies that I've read are very much mixed hit or miss. I really loved all of these, and the cool thing about this is that all these short stories were interconnected because they took place in the same town, and so we saw characters from one story popping in the other story. And yeah, I just love this. Now we get to a couple of contemporary fiction books by autistic on voices authors. with autistic characters. So the first one is A Kind of Spark by Al McNichol. Absolutely love this book. People said I would, and they were absolutely right. This was, yeah, one of my all-time favorites. Then we have Please Don't Hug Me by Kay Care. Also really, really like this one. We have Peter Lyra's Rating Normal by Anna Waitley. I really liked that the main character in this also has ADHD and SPD. Yeah, also really like this one. Then I have, then we're moving into nonfiction, starting off with autism memoirs, then some other memoirs, and then some information books. So the first one is How to Be Autistic by Charlotte Amelia Poe. I didn't rate this one as highly as the other autism memoirs on this list, but I wanted to mention it anyway because I did really enjoy it. And we have on a note, because I read this from the library, Ik ben autistisch by Bianca Toeps Westerwolde en een Zweeds from Hozeboot. This was sort of part memoir, part information book about autism, and I really, really liked it. Again, see the individual videos about all these books, or the wrap-ups from more detail. Onzichtbaar Onvermogen by Evelien ter Steeg. I think I read this in like earlier in 2021 because I don't recall lots of it, so it must have been a while. But I'm pretty sure I read it in 2021 and I really enjoyed this. Then we have Sarah Kerchak's memoir, I Overcame My Autism, and all I got was this last anxiety disorder. I read this one relatively recently, loved it. Then we have Explaining Humans by Dr. Camilla Pang. Really loved this. I definitely want to reread as well. Now we get into some memoirs by non-autistic people. So first we have Mijn Kwaad Bloed by Melissa Kramer. Alyssa, I Will Not Forget You. Yeah, watch the video about that book if you want to know what that's about. Melissa passed away in the beginning of 2021, soon after her book came out, I think. The next book is Een Steekje Los by Iris de Haar. This is her memoir about living with her anxiety disorder, and I really enjoyed this. Then we have All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. This is a memoir manifesto, it says, and then we get to the more like non-fiction that are not memoirs, or like information books. First we have Disability Visibility, edited by Alice Wong, first-person stories from the 21st century. Although you could see as also this is like part of a memoir, but anyway, this is like more of an essay collection about disability. Important book. Then we have Pain and Prejudice by Gabrielle Jackson, and I learned from this book. And lastly, What We Don't Talk About When We Talk About Fat by Aubrey Gordon. Really important book as well, really liked it. And my battery is flashing low, so I'll just round it off here. Thank you very much for watching, and here's to a good rating year in 2022 for everyone. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!